First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rokah Kwadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and a sincere salutation to the Akim pushing his truth in sincerity. So today I have 3 images that I came across on a TikTok video, and I took a screenshot of them, and it's speaking about house slaves, okay? Now, unless you've been living under a rock, okay, the so-called white man had the blacks, the Latinos, and the Native Americans in slavery, okay? And that is something that they're trying to dismiss, they're trying to erase, but it's resurfacing, okay? Because the truth is the truth, and this is what happened. This is what is happening even to this day. We are still slaves under the so-called white man, okay? And these other nations as well. And the Israelites are standing on their feet, speaking this truth, and it's bothering a lot of people. It's even bothering so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, whom this was inflicted upon. But nonetheless, the truth has to come out, okay? So I want to speak about house slaves, okay, and how really those that inflicted this upon the blacks, the Latinos, and Native Americans, it's ultimately going to be inflicted upon them, okay? A sort of payback, trading places, if you will. Okay, so let's read these 3 images and then get some scriptures, Lord willing. This is edifying, okay? It says, a house slave was a slave who worked and often lived in the house of the slave owner, performing domestic labor. House slaves had many duties such as cooking, cleaning, being used as a sexual slave, serving meals, and caring for children. Okay? And in this picture, well, in the 3 pictures that I have, you see a Judite women caring for Edomite children. Okay? And that was the duty of a house slave. And I want to say this. This is going to be recompensed upon their head. Okay, they are going to have to take care of our children. They're going to have to serve us like we serve them. Okay, not only that our women have to serve them, but even males. All right, even the man, okay, was in slavery, in hardcore slavery at that. Starting with the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, they also were in slavery. Okay, and even to this day, we're slaves. You know, they call Latinos illegal immigrants, okay, when really this earth belongs to who? It belongs to the Israelites. It was created for our sakes, according to the scriptures, all right? And, you know, when you look at Native Americans, you know, Native Americans were basically, you know, taken off the land, okay? When Esau came to America, what did he do? Okay, he ultimately set up the natives to take away their land, you know? So what they did is ultimately going to come back upon them, all right? But let's continue reading, okay, these other 2 images, and I'm going to get some scriptures, all right? This is another picture, which I found interesting because this Judite woman has, you know, a little Edomite baby sitting on her lap, but she's wearing fringes. Check that out. I thought that was kind of spiritual, but it says Harriet Jacobs, a house slave from Edenton, North Carolina, reports that on Sunday, her mistress would station herself in the kitchen and wait till it was dished, and then spit in all the kettles and pans to make sure that the slaves did not eat what was left over. Okay, so this is what this Judite woman reports, okay? So you see how they used to treat Jake, you know? They wouldn't let them eat leftovers, you know? And they had to cook and clean, you know? But, you know, they couldn't eat from the food that they had made because it was all for the Edomites, okay? But this is what she reports, you see? So, you know, they had us in hardcore slavery. They were cruel, you know. They forwarded affliction, like the scriptures say. Okay, let's read this image. It says, however, Lewis Clark believed that somehow slaves were worse off than field slaves. There were 4 house slaves in this family, including myself, and though we had not, in all respects, so hard work as the field hands, yet in many things our condition was much worse. We were constantly exposed to the whims and passions of every member of the family. From the least to the greatest, their anger was wreaked upon us. Okay, so this Judite woman reports that, you know, in all respects, although that they weren't out there, in the hot sun toiling, she said it was worse to be a house slave because they were at the exposed to the whims and passions of everyone in the house, from old, all right, to the youngest. Whatever they felt, whatever they wanted to do, they would do it. Okay, and it was and it, how people be moody, so there was probably torment living among a bunch of Edomites. All right, in the field, you probably had Edomites like how you have at work, walking around here and there. But I would imagine, all right, according to what she reports, that it was like torment being around so many damn Edomites, because you don't know what they was thinking, what torture they had, that they wanted to inflict upon you. Okay, but these are the 3 images, and this is coming back, man. Slavery. Okay, now let's get that in Revelation, because you got people out there that think that that the white man gets a pass. As a matter of fact, before we get that, let's get this real quick. This is Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Okay, so what you sow, you're gonna reap. Okay, and they sowed, they plowed an iniquity, so they're gonna reap wickedness. They're gonna reap a judgment. They're gonna reap, the fruits of their hands. This is Revelation, and that upsets a lot of people, man. That upsets Edomites. Okay, that upsets other heathen. That upsets even 2/3 of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans that don't understand judgment. They don't understand the will of the Most High, and how really, the Bible's a history book and it's being played out. And what they did is ultimately going to come back upon their head. Okay, it's only fair. This Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So the saints, that's what they believe. That's what they're waiting for, patiently. Okay, they have faith that the Most High is going to recompense, okay, judgment upon their enemies. Okay, they led the nation of Israel, okay, into captivity. Well, they must also go into captivity. They kill with the sword, they must also be killed with the sword. You see? So make no mistake, Edomites are going to be slaves in the kingdom, and they're going to be ruled by the so-called blacks, the Latinos, and Native Americans, the elect. What does this say? This is what's that scripture? Revelation 2:27. 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Okay, this is written in the New Testament for all those who believe that we only speak about the Old Testament and that the prophecy is already done. Well, this is what's written. Okay, He that overcometh and keepeth the works unto the end, he will get power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. Okay, so those that overcome, those that are the elect, those Israelites, okay, that keep the works unto the end, they're going to rule over the nations with the rod of iron, okay, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers. So they're going to, literally bash the nations into subjection, okay? It's only fair. That is the patience of the faith of the saints. All right. It says, and the people, Salakia, this Isaiah 14:1 at the top, for Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. So the Lord's going to have mercy on Jacob. You see, we went into captivity not for our destruction, but because we moved the Most High to wrath. It tells you that in the book of Baruch. You see, because we sacrificed unto devils and not unto the living power. Therefore, we went into captivity, under our enemies, and we were given into their hands. And that's the story. That's why the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans were in slavery. Okay, mainly under the so-called white man, as long as these other nations. But the Lord's going to have mercy. Okay, we're coming up out of that slavery because we're understanding the truth. We're seeing the prophecy played out. The Bible's being played out, and the Lord is giving us the insight, the wisdom, the eyesight to see, and the truth is coming out. And they don't like it. That we're taking, we're taking the truth and we're telling it to them, and we're using the internet to do it. But the Lord's gonna have mercy, all right, on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. Okay, so the Israelites are going to go back into their land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Right, the Israelite foreigners, because the Lord scattered the Israelites all over the world. Well, those that are of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they're going to come back. Okay, they're going to come back, and all the house of Israel is going to be gathered. Okay. It says, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. Okay, so Israel's going to possess, okay, their rulers, because it goes on to say, it says, I'm going to read it again. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Okay, we just read in Revelation 2:27 that he that overcomes shall rule over the nations. Okay, so Israel is going to possess those people, okay, who had them captives. They're going to be their captives, all right? Because it says, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. They're going to rule over their oppressors, okay? You see? They're going to rule over those who oppress them. For servants and handmaids. So what you see in these pictures of these Edomite children, having to, and how we used to, have to take care of them, Judite men and Judite women, all right, starting with, Judah, because, they really got it the worst. They're going to actually possess these people, all right? They're going to possess the Edomites, the so-called white man. Now, when you go into this word servants,
Strong's H 5650, Eved,
slave, servant, manservant, subjects, okay? So as we were once subject unto them, they're going to be subject unto us. We are the true Israelites. We fit these prophecies. You see, the Lord's going to have mercy on his people. They're no longer going to be in slavery. And you cannot, this knowledge is not make you a slave. It frees your mind from the truth. Okay, from the lies. Okay. So, they're going to be servants and handmaids. Now look at this word handmaid.
Strong's H 8198. Shifcha.
Maid servant, slave girl, maid servant. All right. A female slave as a member of the household, a house slave. Wench, bondwoman, woman servant. Okay. We're not our women servants. Okay. Maid servants, slave girls, they were. And look at what they had to do. They had to cook, clean. They were even used as sexual slaves, you see? So it's only fair that he that reaped this, okay, he that sowed this, I mean, is going to reap this too. This is in the NLT. It says, the nations of the world will help the Lord's people to return, and those who come to live in their land will serve them. Those who captured Israel will themselves be captured. You see, that's the point. Those who captured Israel will themselves be captured, and Israel will rule over its enemies. All right. This is Isaiah 4:92. Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles and set up my standard to the people, and they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughter shall be carried upon their shoulders. You see, all these nations are going to learn the ways of the Israelites, whether they want to or not. Okay? You see? And they're going to bring the sons in their arms, and thy daughter shall be carried upon their shoulders. Now, this is a future prophecy of what's going to happen. Tables are going to turn. White people, they're going to carry our sons and their daughters. Okay, like we had to carry them. You see? Thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will lift up mine hand to the Gentiles and set up my standard to the people. And they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. You see that? Let's get this, nursing fathers.
Strong's H 539. Amen.
Right here, foster father, foster mother, nurse. You see that? They're going to be nursing our children. Okay? They're going to be babysitters. Kings and queens are going to be our babysitters. To suckle, nurse, suck. Okay? Suckling babe, to suck, nursing women, nurse. Right? Matter of fact, let's just get that word real quick. Nursing father definition. A nursing father is a male parent who provides primary care for an infant. You see that? Yeah, like babysitters. Foster father. Yeah, man. A male parent who provides primary care for an infant. Okay? Or a female parent who provides primary care for an infant. Okay? So, basically, these Edomites, man, they're going to carry our children. They're going to watch our children. They're going to carry, they're going to be in charge of watching over our little ones, man. You see, it says, it continues, Isaiah 49:23, and kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, for they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. You see, they shall not be ashamed that wait for me. Okay, what do we read in Revelation 2:27? Okay, he that overcometh unto the end, okay, who keepeth the works, all right, shall rule the nations, okay, with the rod of iron. So this is the patience and the faith of the saints. We also read that in Revelation 13 and 10. This is the faith that we have, okay, that the Lord's going to have mercy on Jacob, choose Israel, okay, and that we're going to take them captives, okay, whom captives we were. You see, we were the captive, but now you're going to become captives. Y'all gonna serve us like how we served you, okay? And they had Jake doing being a house slave, doing the same things like this, even as a sexual slave, you know. And according to this woman, she said it was worse. Salakia. You see? Let's get one more scripture and then we'll end it out. This is Isaiah 60:3. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. You see? So Gentiles, they gonna see the light. The Lord said he was gonna lift up his hand to the Gentiles and set up a standard to the people. So they're gonna see the law going out from Jerusalem. Okay, we're gonna go back to that land. The Lord said he was gonna set us back in that land. Okay, we read that. Okay, and we're gonna rule out of Jerusalem, Lord willing. We be those men, but the Lord, he's gonna let those of our enemies see, okay, that the Lord was with us. They're gonna see the light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising, right? Coming up, coming up. We're gonna be coming up in the world, so to speak. It says, lift up thine eyes round about and see all they gather themselves together. They come to thee, thy son shall come from afar, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. You see? So these other nations, they're gonna gather themselves together. They're gonna come to us. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Look at this. Thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Man, there's going to be a big change, man. Let's see this. Nursed.
Strong's H539. Amen. Amen.
So you're going to picture the opposite. It's going to be an Edomite, okay, with one of our children. You see? Going back. It says, lift up thine eyes round about and see all they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy son shall come from far, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. You see? And kings and queens are going to do this. They're going to bring us all their forces.
Strong's H2428. Chayil. Chayil.
Right? Strength, might, efficiency, wealth, army, strength, ability, efficiency, wealth. You see? They're going to bring us their wealth, their goods. What does it say down here? Goods, riches, strength, strong substance. Okay, these Gentiles are going to carry our children. They're going to carry their belongings to us. They're going to pay restitution, double what they swallowed up. All right. You see? So there's going to be a great change, man. So I thought this was spiritual. I wanted to bring this out, Lord, when you were edified. We just have to keep on, there's a great reward, ruling over your enemies, man. Because make no mistake, these devils are not just going to go into the kingdom like nothing happened. You know? This is Isaiah 14 and 21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities. Okay? So, right, slaughter is going to be prepared for their children. You see? And basically, okay, those Edomites that did this to us, their children are alive in these days. According to reincarnation, everyone's back for their judgment. You can receive that. All right. Even those that pierce Yahweh Shai, it tells you in Revelation, they're going to see Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai going to see them. Put it to you like that. All right. So, you know, these devils, they didn't die and are gone away with. They're alive from their seed. Okay. The Lord knows how to reserve the wicked for judgment. Okay. They're going to go into slavery, man. You see, and rightfully so. So I wanted to bring this out. I wanted to edify. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rokah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And a sincere salutation to you, Akim, pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.